Welcome to episode 2 of the Paranormal Papa Podcast. I'm your host, Paranormal Papa. Today, we have got a special podcast, an interview with the creator of the Global Ghost Hunt, Bryan J. Laverty. This is a pre-recorded interview. We go into a lot of detail. I have a lot of respect for Bryan, and I would love to be more involved with him and the Global Ghost Hunt. This is the epitome of para-unity, when teams from all over the world get together to live stream their ghost hunts. It's an epic event. Let's get on with the interview. I know those of you that follow the paranormal field know this guy sitting next to me right over here. This is Bryan John Laverty sitting over here, y'all. A paranormal investigator, organizer of the Global Ghost Hunt. The first time the world has come together for a series of live ghost hunts. And this dude pulled it off. What's up, man?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I pulled it off, yes, but I had other people with me that helped me pull it off too. So it definitely wasn't just me, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of work, and a lot of investigations, and it was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
Now, what made you divide it up into like May and then again, I believe October? Why didn't you just run it from for those 5 months, like May through October?
Well, I think that would have been a little too much, but that I don't think we would have had enough teams sign up to do it in between those. But I think the reason we split it off is because it was, like I said, originally I wanted to do it for October, and which is what we're going to be doing this year. But then I thought, you know what? Some people mentioned to me, why don't you do it in May too? And I said, sure. I said, sure. Just like it was like nothing. So, but I decided to do it in May and October, so for 10 days. Eventually, what's going to end up having to happen, and maybe next year, we're probably going to have to expand it more like 14 days to 18 days.
So,
yes.
For this 14 days, how many teams signed up?
We had 23. We had 23 live investigations in total.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I was, like we were talking about before we came on live, I was really, really overwhelmed with the reception that the Global Ghost Hunt got, and people were really, really excited. We started planning this a year ago, April, and we had our very first team sign up last July. So they basically had to wait they waited 10 months. So we really started getting a lot more teams signing up in January. But, the reception has been great. But the very first team that signed up, and I think I'll always remember this, was Rootless Destinations. They were the very first team to sign up, and they were really, really excited to be part of it. And they're actually coming back in October.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
So, what... God, I don't even know how to... What got you started with the paranormal? I mean, you're still a young man. I mean, what first struck your flame when it comes to the paranormal and the afterlife?
Well, it's I've told this story several times, and when I first got into the paranormal, it was approximately 10 years ago, but I've always been involved in the paranormal. I've been classified as a sensitive, so I started seeing spirits when I was about 9 or 10 years old. And so of course, I didn't really understand what it was. And I was seeing things other people weren't seeing. And trying to explain that as a kid in the 70s, that was very difficult because there wasn't a lot of information around about what I could do or what I could see. So I guess I had my very first experience of being touched by a spirit was when I was about 15 years old. And it's a little bit of a sad story, but kind of a nice story at the same time. Like there's this family that I was very good friends with. This guy, his grandmother passed away 3 weeks before, so I went down to see him about 3 weeks after she passed away, and we were sitting in his bedroom, and all of a sudden I felt like something touched my wrist. And then I felt what felt like a head lean on my shoulder, and I actually looked to the right, and there was an actual indent in the bed, like something was sitting beside me. And it lasted for about 30 seconds, and then it was gone. Now, the interesting thing about that is, I know when a lot of people get touched by spirits, they have that cold feeling or that freezing feeling. This was actually a very warm and loving feeling. And what's interesting about it is when his grandmother was alive, that's what she used to do to me. So we determined that it was his grandmother basically saying goodbye, and then it was after 30 seconds it was gone. And it's funny, during that time I was being touched, I said, something's touching me. And when I looked to my side, like I said, I saw that indent, and I told him. He goes, nothing's touching you. I go, dude, look beside me. And he actually saw the indent. And then once it was gone, and this determined that it was actually something was there because the indent was gone. And like I said, it was lasted for about 30 seconds, then it was gone. So after that, I really got interested in the paranormal. But again, back in those days, there wasn't a lot available, and there wasn't really anything on TV. So you really had to do your own kind of type of research by asking people. I think in the library there might have been 2 books on spirits. So really it was about, and then let's be honest, Drew, back in those days, if I were to tell anybody I could see spirits, I probably would have been put in a mental home. Because
probably, yeah.
because it wasn't looked upon very nicely, and it was basically taboo. So as the years went on, I just got more and more involved, or watching, reading, researching, and it was about 10 years ago when I got involved with my first paranormal group. That was a local group that was here in the GTA in Toronto. So that's where it really started for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a first experience. I mean, a first physical experience. How come you get the loving, sweet grandma experiences and the rest of us get scratched and punched and something just don't seem kosher about this deal?
It's
wow.
It's funny because I was asked this question the other day, because I was on another podcast, and we were talking about that kind of stuff, like why do some people get touched and some people don't, or why do some people get scratched and some people don't. My whole theory on when you're going into a location or anything like that is, first things first is to be respectful. And I'm the type of person that always introduces the people that I'm around, that are with me, to the spirit. And I think really if you go in with the intent of being generous, being kind, being friendly, I think 9 times out of 10 you're going to get more interaction from the spirits rather than something negative. So I don't know, maybe it's also because I put that protective bubble around me when I go into a location as well. So that might be one of the reasons too. I've always I've always been the type of person that I would go in, I would pray before I'd go in, just to myself, not necessarily around in the group, just to myself. And then after I'd leave, I'd pray to myself as well. But then unfortunately, I had something follow me home. And so, not that it was a bad thing. I ended up being able to take her back. But a medium that is a friend of mine taught me how to do. There's a couple of different things you could do. You can do the flower, you can do the bubble. I tend to do the bubble rather than the flower. By protecting yourself, it's like it's putting a bubble around you. So, so I tend to do that kind of stuff. But it's interesting that in the amount of time I've been doing this, and even before I got into investigating, because I had a lot of experience of seeing spirit, even walking down the street. I'd only been. I think I've only been touched like 5 times.
Wow.
So, and that's starting from when I was 15 years old. So, I haven't been touched that much. I think, as you and me both know that, there's a lot of people out there, unfortunately, that embellish their investigations sometimes. I won't get into too much like the faking and stuff, but, yeah, so I don't think touching is as common as people think it is. Just like demonic. It's not as common as people think it is. So.
Yeah, it tickles me a lot how some of these, once again, I won't mention any names, but they tend to go into homes and within 5 minutes, I believe you have a demon in your house that is torturing you and your family. But anyway,
the last time I was touched, I was at the, and I'm pretty sure I was touched, and I didn't see it. And see, that's the problem with my abilities. I can't turn them off. I can't turn them on. It happens when it happens. And so I was at the White Hill Mansion in New Jersey doing an investigation. And, and this is a common thing people say, that sometimes when you're touched, it feels like cobwebs. And that happened to me in White Hill Mansion. So I was getting ready to go to the stairs, and all of a sudden it felt like I walked through cobwebs, and there's no cobwebs there. So that was the last time I was touched. And then the time before that had been years. So, I don't think it happens as much as people. And this is just my opinion, So my son was touched at a location that we did, but I don't think it's that common, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, the first one actually scared the hell out of me. Because Mark and I were out at a cemetery, and it was an old cemetery. There hadn't been a burial there in probably 15 or 20 years. Okay. And we were talking to a soldier that died in a mortar attack in Vietnam. Oh, okay. And it was, very nice conversation. And all of a sudden, it just turned dark. He's coming. Who's coming? Satan. Okay. We hear Satan a lot, so.
Yeah.
Well, and then all of a sudden, we hear this blood-curdling, and honest to God, I almost tinkled down my leg, and Mark come real close to drawing his gun. We heard this blood-curdling scream come out of the cornfield south of the place. I mean, if you could ever imagine what a banshee sounds like, that's what it sounded like.
Oh, wow.
And we were, okay, well, I guess we're going to close this down for now. And he took off walking, and I started taking all the equipment back to the car, breaking down the tripod, put it in the trunk and everything. And all of a sudden, I got this sharp pain going right down the center of my back.
Oh, wow.
And I yelled at him, and he ran back, asked me what was wrong. I said, dude, my bloody back is just, it feels like somebody took a knife and ran it down my back. And I took my shirt off right there on camera and had him snap a picture of it, and I had 3 lines going right down my spine.
Oh wow. See, I've never had that. I've
first
never
one.
had that experience. Now, I will say that I have seen them, but I think my very first one, the very first experience that I had with, again, I hate to use this term because I don't like it, but my very first demonic, if you want to call it that, was when I was about 18 or 19 years old. And I think I've told you this story before, Drew, that there was a house that wasn't too far from where I lived. And it was one of those houses where kids went to party in all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the place looked like a castle because it had these high tips on it. It wasn't a castle, but it was a house, but it just had high tips on it. And every time I walked past it, I knew something was bad in that place. It just had a feeling there was something bad in that place. Every time I walked past, I got nervous. And just this overwhelming fear on walking past this place, and especially walking past it at nighttime. It was just creepy as hell. And so kids would go there all the time to party, and I was always asked to go, and I said, I'm never going to that place. And eventually I was convinced. So as soon as I started walking up to the front porch, I knew right away what I was going to be experiencing. Right away, I knew it. And so I walked in, and God, there it was. And I was with my buddy, and I told my buddy I don't want to be here anymore. I think I stayed for like 10 minutes, and I said I need to go. And my buddy stayed. And what's the scary part is, not too long after I left, my buddy got scratched.
Oh,
and
wow.
It was so severe that he ended up in the hospital, and he almost died. And he lost like 35 pounds. And this guy was already a skinny guy. So, and he was in the hospital for like, I think it was like 3 weeks to a month, and they had no idea what was wrong with him. And, obviously they saw the scratches, but they didn't associate the scratches with something demonic. And obviously they're doctors. They don't tend to believe in that stuff, right? There's got to be a scientific reason why this is happening. And he almost died. And all of a sudden, like, I think it was about 2.5-3 weeks after, he just started getting better, and it was gone. And he got better, and he fully recovered. But it was a very, very scary moment, and I knew what it was, and I told him, dude, you don't want to stay here. And he said, yeah, I'm going to hang out for a bit. And I'm glad I left. So
Wow.
It was just a scary, scary thing, and I would like to think it was associated with those scratches, that his body got taken over in some way, and the scratches caused some kind of viral infection. I don't know, but he was like I said, he was close to dying.
Wow. That house, the way you describe it, reminds me of a place. My mom grew up in a little tiny town in Indiana called Landis.
Okay.
And it was literally one of those kind of towns. Like, you went over the railroad tracks, there's a general store, there's a church, there's about 20 houses, and you're out of town. And it's been there for, 185 years. And her and one of her sisters and a couple of her sisters' older friends went to this place and took a Ouija board in 1961.
Oh, wow.
They had heard stories about the old lady that lived there and how she mysteriously died, and they wanted to communicate with her. And this house hadn't had anybody living in it for 50 years. I mean, it even had the old gas lights on the wall. There was no electricity in this house.
Wow.
And they played with the Ouija board for a little bit, and to this day, 61 years later, my mom will swear those lights start lighting along the wall.
Interesting.
They left the Ouija board there and went back out the window, and during the night the house burnt down.
Oh, really? Wow. Jeez.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't.
She forbid us kids from ever touch a damn Ouija board, and you know I've not touched one ever.
Yeah,
you grew up with that story, so.
Yeah, I know this is, I don't know. I'm on the fence about the whole Ouija board thing, but I've never touched one, and I have no interest in touching one. So you just never know. It's like, I know it's like unless you're into the paranormal, unless you're really following it and stuff like that. I think most of us realize that, or a lot of paranormal investigators I know won't even go near them. I know some that will, but a majority of them don't. I think an outsider looking in that knows nothing about the paranormal will be more than happy to play with them. But unfortunately, I think a lot of times when those people are playing with them, they're not opening them properly and they're not closing them properly. And it's just, just like anything in the paranormal, you're channeling spirit. But that particular thing, you might not necessarily get something you want to get. So, I don't know. I just don't mess with those. And I know people have I know people that collect them, which doesn't make sense to me at all. But it's just I don't go near them at all.
I think my hack collection is probably safer. I think I'll stick with that.
Yeah, I have a mug collection.
Now, see, I started kind of collecting mugs. I found my Chucky mug last year at a garage sale,
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's cool.
Till the end.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
that kind of started my mug collection and my Star Wars mugs. And
yeah. I think I got like 4 or 5 boxes full of mugs. And the ironic thing about that is I don't drink coffee. So.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I don't know if I could live. I got a percolator sitting beside me, for God's sakes. That's how much coffee I go through in a day.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So, yeah, I don't drink coffee. I don't even drink tea. So.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
So, moving on to Global Ghost Hunt. Could you please explain to everybody in here that may not be familiar with it what the Global Ghost Hunt is? I mean, I know the name's kind of self-explanatory, but...
Yeah. Global Ghost Hunt really for me was about. I'm going to try to go back to the beginning. I was with another event that did something similar, but ours was completely different. And with that company, it didn't really work for me, so I ended up leaving them and decided that I wanted to start my own. But I wanted things to be a little bit different because that one's over a 1-day period. Ours is over 10 days. So it was a lot different from the start because I wanted to make sure it was different. Global Ghost Hunt is really about teams and from across the globe that they pick their location that they want to investigate, and we stream it live for them. And the way we did it this past one, they were on 8 different pages streaming live across the world. So really, my whole goal was to bring these teams and these locations together over a 10-day period, and really it was about them all working together. Yes, they weren't working together, but they were all involved in the Global Ghost Hunt, so they were all supporting each other. If they didn't have an investigation that night, they would be watching the other ones that were going on. So it was really about everybody supporting everybody, and that's what it was really about. But my primary goal for the Global Ghost Hunt was about the locations. Because I've noticed over the last 5 years, a lot of these locations are disappearing. for whatever the reason is, they're being torn down. The people can't afford to keep them open, or a legal reason, or whatever it is, vandalism. So really, it was about the preservation of the locations. So we wanted to showcase the locations. Yes, we wanted to showcase the teams, but we wanted to showcase more the locations than anything, because we were hoping when we first started that we were going to get locations that nobody had heard of before. And we got that. We got those locations. A lot of people didn't know what Clive Cottage was in Australia, which ended up being a great investigation. We had a couple of locations in the UK nobody had heard of. We even had locations in the States that nobody had heard of, like the Victorian View, which was an incredible location. And that was in Iowa. I believe it was in Iowa. Yeah. And then we had, then some locations that I'd never heard of, like I'd never heard of the Dumas Brothel, which was, which ended up being a great investigation. And then there were the S.K. Pierce Mansion, which was another great location. What was another location that wasn't popular? Oh, the technology, what was it called? The Radio Museum and Technology was, I believe it's called, was with the Global Ghost Hunt. Nobody had heard of this place. And it ended up being a great investigation. And the place was filled with old radios from like over the last 200 years, and it was just great. Well, maybe not 200 years, but, the just antique stuff throughout the whole place. And that ended up being a great investigation as well. So really, the Global Ghost Hunt was really about all these teams working together, but I was really hoping that the locations would stand out, because these locations are disappearing every single year. And I'm hoping that the people that watch the Global Ghost Hunt, that are paranormal investigators, saw these locations, go, wow, I want to go to this place. And hopefully these locations are going to start getting booked up so they don't have to worry about closing down. Yeah, so that's really what the Global Ghost Hunt was about. So
when you go out and you do an investigation or something, do you ever get frustrated when you find a really popular place that you might see on TV, or you've heard somebody talk about it, and you damn near got to refinance your house to be able to get the place for an evening?
Yeah, that's that seems to be a big not so much here in Canada, but I know in the States it's really expensive to investigate in some places, and the prices seem to be going up. But keeping in mind too that the expenses for these people are going up too, like property taxes go up, to keep the place open goes up, so they might be raising the prices, but they might be raising the prices for a good reason, because their expenses are going up, so, but then again, there are some people that just take advantage of it. Like I can think of one place that really takes advantage of it, and to be honest, I think it's haunted, but I don't think it's as haunted as people say it is. If I were to give it on a 1 to 10 scale, it's probably about a 3. And people would be surprised when they find out what the location I'm talking about. I'm talking about Bobby Mackey's.
I knew that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, and to be perfectly honest, my whole thoughts about this portal to hell down in the basement is crap. I really think that started by Mr. Ghost Adventurer himself. And
Ghost Adventurer.
I was happy that I went just because of the history. But concerning the portal to hell and all that stuff, I think it's all crap. I think it's been embellished. But the reason I bring up that place is because it's I think it's, what is it? I think it's $600 or $700 or $800 for 5 hours. That seems a little extreme to me. And
oh, yeah. We have them here like that. We have a guy in Indiana that has 5 places. Every year he tries to go out and buy a new place, and he charges $65 a person, 10-person minimum.
Yeah.
Anybody above and beyond that is $60 a person, and you've only got the place like 5 hours.
Yeah,
so,
well, that guy's taking full advantage. Yeah, that guy's taking full advantage. So.
But people pay it, dude.
I know, and you know what? I wish people wouldn't, because then that would stop. But at the same time, I'm trying to get these locations out there to get them some publicity. But I'm more about the locations that are just not as popular as like the Waverly Hills or the Bobby Mackey's, the Penhurst, which are all great locations, but expensive. And and the problem is people pay, yes, but if people stop paying it, maybe they would stop charging people that amount of money.
Yeah.
I will tell you though, I went to Octagon Hall.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In Kentucky last November, and there was 6 of us. And we got there at 4:30 in the afternoon, and we left at 9 o'clock the next morning. It was $300.
Not bad.
When you have 6 people with you, that comes out to a good price.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, for almost 14, over 14 hours. So, and so. It seems to. I'll be honest. Like even the places in the UK are getting expensive as well. They're not cheap. But people know this.
Danny just commented, "I don't pay to play. I'm stubborn."
Hey.
We know that, Danny. We know that.
Yeah. I was telling Danny. I was telling Dan yesterday, and sorry, Dan, Drew. I was telling Dan, and before we came live, I said, I thank the big guy upstairs for keeping Dan around, because he's been through a lot in the last 6 months, and he is a stubborn man. He is a stubborn man because he's still here, still kicking, and I like that. And Dan is I consider Dan a very close friend, and I couldn't see this world without Dan in it.
I don't even want to imagine this world without Dan in it.
Yeah.
I have sat here and I have shed tears and I have prayed and I've done everything with all the shit that's happened to him in the last year. And I don't even want to think about this world without my best friend in it.
Yeah, and like I tell you, when I meet Dan for the very first time, it's not going to be a handshake. It's going to be a hug. It's going to be a big hug. That's for sure.
Man, so getting back to Global Ghost Hunt, because I know that you have to, play offense tonight for a situation. The Global Ghost Hunt's not gone off without its share of little happenings.
Yes.
How much can you go into detail about that?
I can go into a lot of detail without sounding like I'm bashing someone, because I'm not. But we had one cancellation, and it ended up being a screw up in the days. But the Hinsdale House, that was the Hinsdale House. That will be back in October. So you will see that investigation in October. The other one. So this was the first weekend of the Global Ghost Hunt. We had it planned out. We were doing the Tombstone Paracon, and the plan was that we were going to start live streaming at 12 o'clock, and then going right from 12 o'clock till 6 p.m. That was the plan. And then at nighttime at 12 a.m. for 2 hours, because all teams got 2 hours for their live investigations. So we were supposed to be, the person, Jason, was supposed to be filming Shefflin Hall. He was also supposed to be filming the Paracon. Well, it didn't work out that way. So from what I understand from the people at the Paracon, because Jason was supposed to film the speakers and then go outside to the vendors and then walk around Tombstone. And I think people would have really, really enjoyed that. And Tombstone was expecting the same thing. Well, Jason put the camera in front of the speakers and apparently walked away. And left the camera there for 3 hours. And which is not what the plan was. So when they did come back, they said they were going to go down for 2 hours and then come back up at like 5:30. Well, unfortunately, we had other things going on. We had another team that was going to be going live soon, so we couldn't really arrange that. Like, it just, we couldn't do it. So so it ended up finishing at 3:00. But the problem was Tombstone planned all this for the last 5 months of being part of the Global Ghost Hunt, and they were really, really excited. And as Global Ghost Hunt admin staff, we were excited as well. So then that ended. We weren't happy about that, but what can we say? We couldn't do anything. But the investigation was supposed to be at 12 a.m. for Shefflin Hall. And so we started the live. He was supposed to come up 5 minutes before the live, and he never came up. But we started the live, but we just had the thumbnail with the ticker underneath saying the team has not yet connected to the live yet. We're just waiting. We waited for about 20 minutes, and finally we said, okay, well, obviously he's not coming. We ended up finding out that he was live on his own YouTube channel. So he stood us up. We don't know why. He just did it. And to say the least, Tombstone was not happy at all. I ended up getting a call from, I ended up getting on a call with the deputy clerk of Tombstone. And she was extremely nice, a really, really super nice person. Her name is Carissa. She apologized left, right, and center. She didn't need to, but she did. So she wants to continue with the Global Ghost Hunt being partners. So we're going to be there in October at Shefflin Hall. And then next year, I will be at the Paracon next year as a speaker. And we are going to be going live. So we're going to try to do something a little bit different. I'm hoping what we're going to do is maybe have 4 or 5 lives going on at once in the same stream. So as far as I know, they might be able to give us the Birdcage, Shefflin Hall, and some other ones. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I just brought somebody onto the admin staff that is going to be the liaison for the Global Ghost Hunt and the Tombstone, so they can work together and plan this right and have this done right. Because I'll be honest, I was really upset for Global Ghost Hunt, but I was more upset for Tombstone because the amount of money they forked into this guy to do this, and he screwed them. He screwed them. And which is really, really unfortunate, but like I said, Tombstone apologized. They didn't have to. So Bruce Barnett, who's one of the organizers, we're going to be getting together and meeting. We were supposed to get together tonight, but unfortunately we couldn't. But so we'll get together, and we're going to plan this out right. So you're going to see Shefflin Hall in October, and then the Paracon next year, and the way it should have been done. Because from what I understand, the Paracon was amazing. A lot of people walked out of the Paracon absolutely thrilled. We were under the impression that there were vendors outside, and Jason said there wasn't, or something along that lines, but there was. And there was entertainment outside, everything was outside, and we asked him to go outside, and he said no, he won't do it. So we don't know what happened, but those were the hitches. Other than that, we had a couple times where the lives were a little rough, because you got to remember, we were live and they were in these locations. You know, the reception wasn't great all the time, but I tell you, the majority of, I would have to say 95% of the investigations had no issues whatsoever. And it was just a really, really fun 10 days.
Yeah, I've been staying on top of them, watching them. All of them I could catch or would catch. And I was blown away at at how these teams got involved, how the array of teams, the variety. It just, the locations blew me away. It was great. I can't wait till the October.
I tell you, man, Drew, me and Matt Barron, who's a paranormal consultant. He's the consultant with the Global Ghost Hunt. He was with me with most of the investigations. And we were sitting in the back watching all these investigations from the minute it started, from the minute it ended. We watched over 50 hours of investigations in 10 days. And he helped me so much. There were a couple of nights where he was at work, but and I was there right in the back watching every single minute of these investigations. I tell you, 50 hours of investigations in 10 days, paranormal hangover, that's for sure. It happens even if you're watching.
Yep. I watch Matt. I know who Matt is, a paranormal consultant. I watch him. I'm very familiar with him.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, 50 hours. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 50 hours like of investigations, Yeah.
Oh, man. I wish to hell somebody would have got a hold of me over the Tombstone thing. Man, I would have been glued to that thing. I would have never walked away from a camera.
Yeah.
I would have
do you live near Tombstone?
Though.
Do you live near?
No, I'm in Michigan.
Oh, you're in Michigan. Oh, yeah, that's right. You said that you were in Michigan. Yeah, that's right. It's
my dream to go to Tombstone, do investigations of the bird cage and big nose cage.
If we knew then if we knew what was going to happen, we would have definitely sent somebody else out there to do it. But unfortunately, it happens, and we move on, and now we're hoping to. And what I loved about the Tombstone Paracon is, and what I liked about Bruce, and what I like about Carissa, they specifically had the Tombstone on these dates because Global Ghost Hunt was going on, because they wanted to be a part of it. And for this person to do what he did, ruined it for everyone. And we had a lot of people waiting for the actual live investigation. And which is funny, because this guy that went on his YouTube and went live on his YouTube, he got a total of 34 views.
Ooh.
For 3 hours. But what he doesn't realize is he probably would have had a couple of thousand with Global.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't win there. So I don't know. It is what it is. But we're moving on.
Tombstone's always been a thing with me because I'm a historian first. Have been for over 30 years.
Yeah.
And then being into those mysteries, which Tombstone in itself is shrouded in historic mystery, and then the paranormal on top of it. I actually just uploaded a video today for Sunday from Maryland, Point Lookout Lighthouse, and it's the same way. It's a very historic place. It's got a lot of mystery in it, and the paranormal is just outrageous at that location. And to visit a location like that that's tied into history is just, that's when I know I've actually finally succeeded. When I can go to a location like that and do an investigation where it's all intertwined. Oh,
well, maybe you should plan to go out there for next year, for next May.
We'll see what the finances are like. We'll start.
Do that. Like put $10 away every week.
So, I know we've only got a few minutes left.
I'm actually going to have to get on a phone call. But no, I can. If you need me more, I'm here.
No, I don't want to keep you from your schedule, but I did want to ask you. Of all the places that you have investigated, which place, I think we probably already covered it a little bit ago, but which place have you investigated that was a letdown? And in which place have you investigated that you thought, oh, I'm going to get something? And I mean, it literally scared the hell out of you.
Oh, that's a tough question because I've been in so many places in the last couple of years. Like I've been in the UK, I've been in the States, obviously here in Canada. Oh wow. One place that really disappointed me. I would have to say that, like I said, like I said earlier, the place that really disappointed me was Bobby Mackey's. That really disappointed me, to be honest. But on the flip side of that, the history of it was pretty amazing. Because the amount of people that have gone through that place. And I'm not talking about the paranormal investigators. I'm talking about the music and stuff like that, and just the history itself. Yeah. I will say this though. I was surprised when
mysteries does not agree.
When I first walked in, I go, "This is it." That's one of the first things I said. And then just walking around and seeing wires coming out of the ceilings and the floors, it was like, my God, this place is it's a fire hazard. I'm surprised the fire chief hasn't gone in there and closed that place down, to be honest. And
I've heard that a lot out of people who have been to Bobby Mackey's.
So that place would probably be my biggest disappointment. I would have to say the second one on that list, if I could choose a second one, would be White Hill Mansion in New Jersey.
Really?
That disappointed me. Yeah. That place really disappointed me, to be honest, because I had heard so many stories about that place, and then it was one of the number one haunted spots in the States. But of course, you always hear this is the number one spot. This is the number one house that's haunted in the States, or asylum or whatever it is. That place really disappointed me, to be honest. Again, I would put on a scale of maybe, I put it at maybe a 4.
Oh wow!
At most, that's being generous. And then one place that scared the crap out of me. Oh, there's been a few, but one that really sticks out to me personally is it was an abandoned sawmill. It's about 4.5 hours, 5 hours away. Well, maybe, yeah. It's going towards Ottawa, if you know Canada.
A little bit.
So it's probably a good 5-6 hour drive. It's an abandoned sawmill.
Oh wow!
I tell you, as soon as I walked up to that place held a lot of darkness, like complete dark. 2 people died in this place, and they both died at the same time. And they were fighting over money, and they killed each other.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That I walked into that place. I can't even explain how dark it was in that place, and it wasn't like there was something demonic there. That's not what I'm saying. Again, I don't like to use that word, but this place was very, very dark. And it was scary. And, like you don't see it through the video very much. Like I do have the video up on YouTube, but you don't see it because we didn't use a lot of her filming because we had 2 camera people. And we used most of the other camera person's footage. But one of the camera people, she was so scared. She was shaking. The camera was shaking throughout the whole video. We did use a couple of pieces from her footage, but she was shaking. The medium that we had with us, she wanted out of the place as soon as she got into it. It was just very, very dark, and we captured some great EVPs in this place. And the medium that was with us, her name's Patty. I actually captured an EVP on the camera saying, "Hi, Patty." And this place was crazy, but it was so dark. It was dark, and then on top of that, it wasn't too safe, to be honest. But this place was just really, really dark, and I don't think I would ever go back to that place again.
It's not by any chance that really famous Patty that's been on TV a few times and also appears on YouTube?
Not Pat. You talking about Patty Negri?
Yeah.
No, not Patty.
Okay.
No, it was a Patty that's here. She's pretty well known here in Canada. She lives she lives about an hour from me. She does a lot more. She's half Indian, so she goes to a lot of the Indian reserves and does readings for a lot of the Indian reserves. But she was really good. She was good. There were a couple investigations that I did with her that she was spot on, and she didn't know anything. So, and I anytime I take a medium on with me, and which is very rare, but I won't tell them anything about the location. I won't say where they're. I'll give them, or they'll drive with me, or I'll give them an address. But I ask them not to look at it or look it up, the history or anything like that. So, and she was pretty good not to do that. So. Yeah, she was good. We did a park, and she was pretty well spot on this park because there was a homeless man that was killed by two people in this park, and the homeless man roams this park, and she was spot on with that. So,
well, being a sensitive yourself, man, I hope it's possible. There's a place in Paw Paw, Michigan, cemetery. I went there and investigated, and this is probably the only place I've ever been that made the hair on my neck stand up. And I ain't afraid of shit, man. I've died twice, been married twice. There's nothing left in this universe to scare me. You know.
I like how you put your marriages in there.
Well, you don't know my wives. So, but I'm kidding. I love my wife now. My
hey, listen, I was married once too, so I'm with you on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I figure when I finally die, I'm gonna appear in front of Satan. He's gonna be like, "Oh, you've been married? Yeah, shit. This place has got no surprises for you."
That's great.
But no, this place here scared the hell out of me, and I would love to take you there. I took my mother-in-law. She's a huge Ghost Adventures fan. She loved Ghost Hunters. She loved all those shows. She wanted to go with me. And I took her to this cemetery, and, of course she had a couple beers beforehand, and she was all gung-ho and 10 foot tall when she's actually only 5 foot tall. And she's sitting there, and I'm filming up a hill where there used to be a watchtower where you could see Lake Michigan. And she's like, "I just saw something up there behind that monument. I'm going to go check it out." And I'm like, "Mom, take this flashlight." She goes, "No, I'll be all right." And those little legs went scampering up that hill, and she wasn't up there for 15 seconds. And she come back down that hill. Nope, F this. Nope. Went right past us, right to the car, got in and locked the doors.
Wow.
She said something looked out from behind that monument that was darker than the dark around it and stared right through her.
Wow.
And then she said that's all she needed.
It's funny. It's funny you say that. I'm one of those people that is not a huge believer in the whole graveyards thing. I just find, why would a spirit want to stay in a graveyard when they can actually go back to the place they were born or they love the most? But I've been to a few graveyards in my past, and I've had some few experiences here and there, but nothing overwhelming. But Patty, I was telling you about earlier, I think it was Patty. I'm pretty sure it was Patty that showed me this video. Yeah, it was Patty. She was there visiting her son, and so it was raining out, and the weather was really bad, and she had the video going, and right by the because it was one of those, it's on the ground, not necessarily the headstone up, it's within the ground, so she was taking a video of it, and everything seemed to be fine, and then the lightning went, and there were two legs standing right above it.
Nice.
Like on the other side of it. And then it went, then the thunder and lightning came, and it was gone. And it was actually an apparition of a man standing there, and it looked like he actually had a cane. And it was, if I could find that video, I'd send it to you, because I'm pretty sure I have it. But that was really, really cool. But again, I'm one of those people. I'm not like the graveyards around here. I just don't find that are very active. So I think I've been to maybe 4. And one of them is like almost 200 years old. So I know a lot of people love graveyards. I'm just not big on the graveyard thing.
We do the graveyard thing a lot here because, well, they're free.
Yeah.
And
well, there you go.
A lot of times, cities, when they hear, like, we have no problem. My buddy Mark, he follows the law. He gets a hold of the city. He gets a hold of the cemetery sexton. He gets a hold of the sheriff's department. He gets a local law enforcement, and lets everybody know what we're doing. They'll come through. They'll check on us. We've had
I noticed
police set 75 yards away and just watch us. Yep.
Oh, really?
Really? Oh, yeah.
Chris made a comment earlier that I wanted to touch on. Waverly Hills became overpriced when ghost hunters started doing their Halloween shows there. And that's something else I agree with when it comes to the prices, because I know of some places that as soon as they had like a TV station or whatever, like Ghost Adventures or Ghost Hunters or any of those type of shows, as soon as they went in there, their prices skyrocketed. And that's people that are just looking for money.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I
agree with you, Chris.
Just said something else about Gettysburg, and Gettysburg will always be my favorite investigation.
Okay.
We were there October 2020.
Okay.
And it just blew me away. I mean, that place has sat in my soul since we left, and I can't wait to get back. We got so much activity. I did videos on the history of Gettysburg, and we done a 2-night investigation. And we were out, at the Sniper's Nest, at Devil's Den. We were at Cemetery Hill. We were all over the place out there. The wheat field. And that place you could have a month of Sundays and not investigate everything there is to invest. But I mean, you got to realize the whole town was a battlefield. I mean, 55,000 people died in a 3-day period in that location, or died, come up missing, and we got all kinds of straight up communication, direct responses. Everything at that place, and I can't wait to get back.
I'd like to go there, obviously because of the history and stuff like that. But we have that here too, because there's a town here in Canada which is about I think about 30 to 40 minutes away from Niagara Falls from the border, and it's called the town of Grimsby, where it was the center part of the War of 1812. And 10,000 people died in that town. So the last video that I have up on YouTube is called the Nellis Manor. That was a museum that's in Grimsby that I did. It was the last standing house of the War of 1812 in Grimsby, because it was protected by the Indians and the soldiers during the war. They were ordered to protect the home. So so I investigated that place, and that place was phenomenal. That place was great. We captured some nice, a few little things here and there, but the history of that place. They have one of the original jackets from the War of 1812, and it's in a cabinet. I can't even imagine what that thing would be worth today.
Nice.
And it's a beautiful jacket, and I actually think we actually got it on. I think we actually put it into this video, but phenomenal place. But that place, I will say, the whole town is haunted. I've investigated 4 stores on the main street, and they're all haunted. They all have activity. And there was one store, and this was really cool. There was one store that we investigated, and he actually captured an apparition on his security camera. And it's definitely a girl, but you only see the legs, the torso, and you don't see any head. There's no head.
Wow.
And you can actually see that the girl is wearing leggings. And it was just really, really cool. And that guy ended up leaving that store and moved into another store. And that store is now haunted. He's captured stuff on his security camera in the other store. And he captured a spirit of an animal, which was really, really super cool. And he actually captured what looks like to be a man that's putting something away in a shelf. And then the dog is like in another room. It's like a reenactment kind of type of thing. And so it's definitely residual. But it's like the man's in the kitchen, the dog's in the family room. And it's really, really super cool. Actually, I sent those pictures to Dan. And to check them out. Remember, I think it was last year or the year before, you guys were on a show and I was telling him about the spirit animal that was sent to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really, really cool. And
see, that's how
Gettysburg is something I'd like to go. For sure.
After we finished our last night of investigating, we were staying in a hotel right on the edge of town, and I was laying in bed. I'd only been back at the hotel maybe 45 minutes or so. It was late, like almost midnight, and I'm laying in bed, and my bed is right next to the window, and I swear to God, I heard what sounded like heel and toe plates, which Civil War boots had steel plates on the heels and toes, walking on the blacktop out in the parking lot.
Oh,
just
wow.
that tick, 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 tick. And by the time I got up and got dressed and unlocked the door, opened it, you could hear it clear down at the end of the hotel around the corner. And I took off running down there, no shoes on, just a pair of pajama pants. And you could still hear it, but you couldn't see anything.
Wow. Kind of reminds me.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me when I was in Octagon Hall last November. So when you go to Octagon Hall, the first thing you get is a tour throughout the whole museum. So when we first started, we were on the ground level, and me and a guy named Adam were standing by the doorway, the entrance, and we both heard it. It sounded like somebody's being dragged along the basement floor, and they had chains on.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really, and we both heard it. And it sounded like somebody was being dragged along the floor. And but I'm telling you, if anybody in the room or you gets a chance to go to Octagon Hall, on a scale of 1 to 10 for that place, I give it 11. Because that place was active from the moment we walked in till the moment we left. And there was this one point me and Adam were setting up some of our equipment. Everybody else was outside, but we were like, the main room where you set up your equipment is a fairly big room. So it's got a very long table. So all of our equipment was on the table. Literally, probably about 7 feet away from me, there's a cabinet up against the wall, and it's got two glass doors. And it almost looks like, it's a cabinet, but it's also a desk, because then you can bring down the thing there. So we were setting up our equipment, and all of a sudden we heard this noise. I looked over. One of the doors was shaking for no reason. No windows, no nothing. I thought maybe I even tried to debunk it. I tried to walk by the cabinet. I tried to bounce on it, like I tried to jump on the floor, or maybe I moved a certain way, but I wasn't moving, and nor was Adam was at least 12 feet away from it. So there was no way he moved it. But the cabinet door started shaking. It like something was trying to open it.
Nice.
And it was, and of course, we don't have our cameras going because we're setting all of our equipment up. But that was a really cool moment. And there was even a point down while during the investigation, we were downstairs in the basement, and I got choked. And it was that place is crazy. So I'm telling you, if anybody ever has the opportunity to go to Octagon Hall in Kentucky, do it. Because it is worth every single penny.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I'm going to go on and cut this off now. Bryan, thank you so much, man. It was great catching up with you. We have to stay in touch.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
You know, I got you right there on Messenger and everything, so it should be real easy to communicate back and forth. And
so without question. But yeah, Drew, no problem. If you ever need me for anything or want to ask me anything, just reach out. You know where to find me.
Oh yeah, sure do.
Yeah,
sure do.
But I want to thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Anytime, man. Anytime. We'll have to come back sometime and talk about Canadian cryptids and.
We don't have a lot of that stuff out here. I know there's been a sighting of the which one is? I think it was the Wendigo. There's been a sighting of that. I know there's been lots of sighting out in the Calgary area for the Bigfoot or the Sasquatch. I think there's a couple of other ones that I think there's been sighting. Now, the Wendigo that's been seen, or it hasn't been seen, it's been heard in Algonquin Park, which is about 2 hours from me. So it hasn't been seen, but it's been heard. Now, I don't know about that, but you know. Oh yeah, for sure. If you want me to come back on, all you have to do is message me, and I'll be happy to come on.
Awesome. Can't wait. But you go and take care of your offensive game now, and
Thank you, man.
I'll catch up with you later, bud.
Okay, buddy. Thank you very much. Thanks for everybody who stopped by to say hi. Have a good night.
You have been listening to Paranormal Papa Podcast, Episode 2, with our special guest, Bryan J. Laverty, coordinator and creator of the Global Ghost Hunt. If you'd like to help keep Paranormal Papa Podcast and Paranormal Papa Investigations going, you can do so at our PayPal. The link is in the description below. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us right here on the Paranormal Papa Podcast, brought to you from Ferocious Feline Studios in Cassopolis, Michigan. Everybody have a great evening. Check us out weekly on our Paranormal Papa Investigations YouTube channel, the home of Paranormal Papa Podcast. Y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. We do. And happy hunting.